Today we're going to be looking at some custom Magic the Gathering cards. Let's see how absolutely insane people design these things. So we're going to start off with Pretty Good Sword. It's a 1-mana equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2, and you also equip for 1. You know what? That is a pretty good sword. I really have nothing to say about this. It's actually... I want to say they wouldn't print this, but they should, because it doesn't look broken. Like 1 mana to make a... And you have to equip for it. It's like basically spend 2 mana and get a +2/+2 on your creature. Totally fine with me. Okay, we got the Dredger's Irregulars. They'd be irregular around here. 4 mana for a 2/2 zombie. It's got Surrogate for 2 mana. 2 mana, discard this card. Target creature gains the following abilities until end of turn. Oh, so it's like you can basically pump up your creature with the ability of this creature. Now, it'll get Menace, which means it's got to be blocked by 2 or more creatures. And then this creature gets +1/+1 for each creature card in your graveyard, which is going to be at least 1. That's synergy, all right? That is what I call synergy, because you're going to have at least this Dredger's Irregulars in the graveyard. All you have to do is get some Street Wraiths in the graveyard, some... I don't know what I can instantly discard. It's gonna be good in a cycle deck where you cycle a bunch of creatures in the graveyard. Maybe reanimate everything afterwards. Yeah, it's like an adventure without the returning creature. You know what? You're right. Now when you put it like that, it's actually just a strictly worse adventure. But no, there is a difference. You're giving the creature the qualities of this card. Like every single adventure, it's not like you gave creatures the abilities of the creature that you had an adventure of. You know, Bone Crusher Giant didn't deal 2 damage to target creature or player upon entering the battlefield. Is what I'm trying to say. I think it's pretty cool. That is design space. That is design. I would say Wizards would steal that design space. They take it. They take it for themselves. Okay, our first super chat of the day, we got Elixir. Nature's Willing. All you gotta do is become part of my Discord. Submit your card. You gotta give it a name, like Nature's Willing, as Elixir did. All right, you see that there? And I can find it on my Discord. Then you gotta pay me $5 per card, and we'll take a look at it on the show. Now, Nature's Willing is a single green instant. Change the text of target spell by replacing all instances of Destroy with Regenerate. It feels very blue-like to me. That being said, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with this. It's going to be like, it is... Yeah, it's like a Mind Bend, but in green. Instead of Destroy, well, we're going to Regenerate instead. And that's how I once managed to confuse a wrathful god. Oh, that's quite the joke you got over there, Elixir. Quite the joke. What it reminds me of, it's like sort of an alternative counter to Veil of Summer. Veil of Summer is also a card which not only counters spells that are trying to kill your stuff, but also you get to draw a card off of it. So I actually can't see how this would be any different. In fact, you don't even draw a card off of it. So it's basically a counter to board wipes. The thing that Green's been looking for all along. Except that they have cards like that. For 2 mana, make all your creatures indestructible. So 1 mana, basically replace Destroy with Regenerate. I can get behind that. We got a bingo card, but the problem is we don't have any bingos here. We got Waifu card, Learn Grammar. I'm going to bring up the bingo card when we hit a bingo. These are all really niche things. Can't get rid of this card. Recycling an old mechanic. You know what? We could say that is like really old, where blue used to replace stuff all the time. All right. I don't know if we can call that a mechanic, but that was an idea where blue used to very often, and I think it's because blue used to have effects like change like the basic land type to another basic land type, or a color to another color. They had that all the time. It was a very big deal. Land destruction immunity. Yeah, regenerate. We're gonna regenerate our lands. That's exactly what we're gonna do. Back to the freebie section. All right, we got Blood Honored Ronin. It's a red 1/1 human samurai with Bloodthirst 1. And Bushido 1. And renown one. Oh god, I wasn't really sure what it did with the first mechanic. I wasn't really sure what it did with the second mechanic, and I definitely don't know what it does with the last mechanic. Oh, here's a hot take from Quidizzle. All creatures in Magic have regenerate because they restore their health end of turn if they don't die. Don't at me, chat. You know what? You're totally right, Quidizzle. The more you know. Did you know? All creatures regenerate in Magic. Jeffrey says, oh, Nikachu, what happens if the board wipe says they can't regenerate? Then it doesn't matter. It could be like, regenerate all your creatures, they can't regenerate, so it's like a wash. The point is that it won't destroy anything. Okay, what does Bloodthirst do? If an opponent was dealt damage, it gets a +1/+1 counters with a +1/+1 counter. But then Bushido 1 says, whenever this creature blocks or becomes blocked, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Okay. And the Renowned is when this creature deals combat damage to a player. If it isn't Renowned, put a +1/+1 counter on it and becomes Renowned. What does even Renowned mean? Okay, pass. This card means nothing to me. Ooh, Travox! The Cenobite Traitor. It is a 3-mana 2/2 Phyrexian Rebel. If you would proliferate, instead remove one counter from any number of permanents and or players, and then for 2 mana tap, sack an artifact, proliferate. Oh, so basically, no, if you would proliferate, instead remove one counter. Okay, now I'm confused. Is this like only screwing us over? I don't get this. I thought it would be like if anyone proliferates, they instead remove counters. If you would proliferate, remove one counter from any number of I guess the idea is you're not a proliferate deck, and then so you can basically anti-proliferate from everything. So remove one counter from, yeah, any number of permanents. Okay, got it. It still works. It still works. We found a way. It's the you know what? We gotta beat proliferate with proliferate. But instead, it's like, I don't know science very well. Is it like if you put 2 negative electrons together, they like, I want to say, like, there's something, opposites attract, but then 2 of the same neutralize. Someone give me an example. I didn't take chemistry. I also didn't really take physics. I might be making physics up right over here. I'm an abomination, a paradox, a traitor. You are a traitor to the proliferate. However, I am an individual. It's curiously the same logic of nature's willing. No, it's more of a way to remove infect from yourself. You could, I mean, obviously you can do that. It's from removing poison. Okay, I'm gonna trust all of you. I mean, hey, I don't make these cards. I don't play Commander very much. Usually when I die to infect, I'm gonna die in one shot. You know, it doesn't happen slowly. This card is useless to me. They're gonna deal the whole 10 in one go. So I don't feel this card. But I guess Commander players, you know, they get 1 poison counter and they realize, oh my god, this is over. 1 poison counter is just gonna go up to 2 to 3. It's gonna proliferate until we're all dead. We don't have enough power to beat the proliferate player. Okay, this is a cool card. I like it. Okay, next up, we have Elixir has another. Dono to Kencon, the Primal Ritual. We got donations here. Elixir is going to be Santa today. Primal Ritual. Another green card. You like them 1-mana green cards, Elixir. Green, instant. Untap up to 3 lands. Then scry X, where X is 3 minus the number of lands untapped this way. Oh, so you can... Why would you want to scry at all? I mean, I guess if you don't need the mana, then you go for the scry. So this is like... This looks absolutely bonkers. I don't know how to describe it, but I am not fine with this card. I'm just trying to think how an Amulet player would play this. They've got 2 crew lands and 1 mana up. They can tap for 4, pay this one. It's like a weird... It's almost like Summer Bloom for 1 mana. But you do need more lands in play to enable it. And also, if you don't go for all 3 lands, then no big deal. Waifu alert! Wife. This is a waifu card. All right, we found the waifu card. Boom. We got it. It's up to 3, so you can choose 0 and scry 3. Yeah, but that's the worst. Okay, let me level with all of you. Scrying 3 is like baloney. It's not that important. But untapping 3 lands for 1 mana. Let's say you have 3 lands in play. All right, so you tap 3. You have 3 mana. Use 1 for Primal Ritual, and then you untap the other 2. Sorry, you untap all 3. You can play a 5-drop with 3 lands in play. You can even go like turn 1. I don't know how you can get 2 lands and play on turn 1. Does Exploration let you do that? Turn 1 Exploration, play land. Next turn, play another land. Then you have 5 mana instantly. It's like a ritual. I mean, it's a ritual for green, but the thing is, there's a lot of lands that can double the mana, like the Karoo lands. You put a Utopia Sprawl on the land. Okay, I'm gonna guess this is. I hope it's fine. It literally doesn't put lands in play, but it's definitely a very, very strong card. Scry with things like Aladamari, Cove, what? Is very good. Scrying is overrated. Super over. Scrying is the old Surveil. All right, Surveil is in. Scrying is out. Scrying is so 2019, Coffee Crew. So 2019. Surveil so hot right now. Surveil would beat Scry in a beauty contest or a beauty look off any day. Reminder that Nykthos Trying to Nyx is a thing. Gaia's Cradle is a thing. Like a lot of this stuff. I see very untapped potential with this card, if you know what I mean. I honestly think it's busted, but I can't prove it yet, so I won't say anything bad about it. Okay, we got the giant fly. We need big fly swatter for this thing. 5 green for a 6/6 insect. It has flying. That's it. That's it. Do I have a flying sound? Oh, I have an insect sound effect. Honestly, not impressive, even for 5 mana. Legal, very doable. Not broken is what we would. Yeah, not broken. Nah, I wonder if it breaks the color pie. Honestly, if Mark Rosewater is evaluating this card, he might say this is not allowed, because there's apparently green stuff is not allowed to fly for some reason, and I don't understand why. Like, if a green card flies, it either has to be the 1 mana Birds of Paradise, or it has to be like 7+ mana. That's just the rules of Magic the Gathering lore. Or it needs to be blended in with like another color in the color pie. Like, white can fly no problem. Blue can fly no problem. Oh, but the card of nature? Of birds and insects? No, that's not allowed around here. It's just a good limited card. It's probably a limited bomb. It's like Primeval Titan with wings. But when you fly, you don't get the land drops because you're not one with the land anymore. Broken draft common. 4+. Oh, we do have a bingo alert for Genka. For Genka, Toilet Duck, they love the bingo. Not everyone's a fan of the bingo. Where is this? 4 of a single color in the mana cost. But for each bingo that we make, we donate 1 extra card to the Coffee Crew. Infinite toughness? Well, by infinite you mean 6, then sure. Okay, next up, we've got... let's take one from the damn draws. We got the Blade of Betrayal. Alright, Blade of Betrayal is black. Oh, it's a shackle. Shackle target creature. This is like an equipment, but it's bad. You don't want this shackle. Shackled creature gains death touch. Blade of Betrayal's owner may choose to attack with, block with, or activate abilities of the shackled creature instead of its controller. Ah! I control your fate now. And then the shackled creature can attack its controller. Well, what is the difference between this and just gaining control of the creature? I actually don't know what the ruling around this would be. So you can unshackle for 4. Shackle target creature. Isn't this just like a weird way of saying like gain control of target creature? That's what like that's basically what I'm reading here. I don't know any difference. Your owner may choose to attack with, block with, activate abilities. Like, I mean, this is literally. I can't sacrifice it. Great catch, El Matchtronic. What else I can't do with this card? I can activate abilities, so I can't sacrifice the creature. I can't. You still gonna pay ward cost if you don't control it. You wouldn't be able to sack it or activate its ability. No, I can activate the abilities. Or activate abilities of the shackled creature. I can do that. Or control its triggered abilities. I can't do that. It doesn't count for requisites on your side. I suppose so. It's so niche. Whatever. Okay. I think it's an awkward card. It's doable, but I think it's a very, very, very clunky card. I think it should just say like you steal the creature. Now that being said, hold on. For 2, oh no, it costs 6 mana to steal the creature. I think you just say gain control of target creature. And shackled creature has death touch. And it would make sense to me. And it would still be in flavor of the shackle, because like the shackling goes on a creature you don't control, unlike, for example, most equipment. Sorry, not most. All equipment cannot be attached to other people's creatures. I should say most. Is there any equipment that goes on other people's creatures? I think there's like 1 or 2. Bryce says, sadly, this is the least favorite show of my show. This is the least favorite shown of this channel, even though it's the most popular. No, It's incorrect. AI-generated cards are above and beyond the most popular show on this channel. Owner can choose if it attacks or blocks. May choose to attack with. I think the choice goes to the Blade of Betrayal. Okay. Moving on. We got Land Flash. That sounds very weird. 0 mana enchantment. You may play lands as though they had flash. It's basically a rule 0. You can still play 1 land per turn cycle. You can still play 1 land per turn cycle, or whatever wording gets this to work as intended. You can still play. I think what it means is like you only play 1 land per rotation. So hold on. I have no. Yeah, I'm like, how do I word this to make this work? See, like you want to be able to say you can play lands as though they had flash, but you're only allowed to play 1 land per, like. It's not even. You can't even say per turn, because when you pass the turn, it's a new turn. The flavor text. What's going on? Oh shit. I forgot to play a land, me, at least once a game. Oh, yeah, well, this one will make sure that you can play lands at any turn of the game. So, yeah, I have no idea how to word this, though. So, this is a funny card. We know what it means. We know what it wants to do. Turn cycle and EDH, that's like 3 extra lands before your turn. No, well, no, but they said specifically you can still play only 1 land per turn cycle. They were trying to say, I want to play only 1 land a turn as usual, but I want the option to play it on your turn. Which actually, if true, would make this card very fine and fair. In fact, this card would just be bad. Because ideally, you just play lands on your turn. It's free. This is literally a card for the person that can't remember to make their land drops. Which in 2024, I hope your opponents or your friends just let you play the land that you forgot to play last turn. Oops, I forgot to play my land. That should be a show. Most common phrases you would hear in a paper Magic the Gathering game. I forgot to play my land drop. I forgot to play my spell. Do you have any dice? Okay, so we're gonna say this is. I don't even know. Honestly, I don't know if it's doable. I should actually disqualify this. You may not play an additional land before your next turn. There we go. Michael word. Okay, Michael saved the card. Otherwise, I would have just said it's illegal. This is impossible. Very impossible. Okay. Michael Canham with bot loyalty. Is that really true, though? Isn't that just, what's it called? A mercenary? 3-mana legendary enchantment. Planeswalkers you don't control can't target you or permanents you control. That's right. You've been bribed. If an opponent would put a loyalty counter on a planeswalker they control, they create a treasure token instead. No more loyalty. So this is just neuters. They create one treasure token instead? Only one treasure token. How's the art sus? It's Liliana on either a big pile of gold or a giant stockpile of cereal. Choose one or the other. If you like money, you see money in the background. If you like morning breakfast cereal, then you see what's that cereal called? It's just a Rice Krispies. That's what it is. She's in a big pile of Rice Krispies. You can buy a lot of loyalty with Rice Krispies. Okay, gain control of each planeswalker with X or less loyalty, where X is the number of treasure tokens that planeswalker's controller controls. What the hell did I just read? Gain control of each planeswalker with X or less loyalty, where X is the number of treasure tokens that planeswalker's controller controls. Oh, so, but this has to be, okay, so it's not worded properly. It's got to be worded like, when it enters the battlefield, this thing happens. Or like at the beginning of each upkeep or at the end step, like this triggers, like it has to trigger at some point. Yeah, they could sack the treasures in response, or maybe they need the treasures. They're like, I mean, oh yeah, it says planeswalkers you don't control can't do squat. But if it's your planeswalker, you can do everything. Unspecified trigger on the third part. Yeah, second part would kill all planeswalkers on ETB since they would enter with 0 loyalty. It would put a loyalty counter on a planeswalker. I don't think that counts. Like, I don't know the rules very well, but the planeswalkers enter the battlefield with loyalty. It doesn't say like counters don't come into play. It just says if you would put a loyalty counter on a planeswalker, I'm assuming through activated abilities, you get treasures instead. Absolutely ruining my cornflakes. Or it could be cornflakes. Yeah, it could be cornflakes too. It could be whatever you want it to be. Very, very generic, indiscriminate cereal. You put the counters on them when they ETB. Okay, I mean, I don't know the rules. So, what, are there cards that block counters and therefore, like, planeswalkers just die instantly? Totally duck with the rules. Whenever a planeswalker you don't control has less loyalty than the number of treasure tokens its controller controls, you gain control of that planeswalker or something like that. Yeah, they could do. That's exactly how it should be. Oh, you think that's how the card is designed? Oh, I want to say no, because then they're just stupid to keep activating their abilities for the treasures. Or I guess that's an idea of like your planeswalker is useless, so you want to get treasures out of it. Anyway, card very like a little too ambiguous to understand. But I also think the card is pretty strong. Like, it's just a hoser to planeswalkers instantly. But I guess maybe in theory doable. But my final word is card too ambiguous. Okay, next up we got Elixir with Dim the Limelight. Oh, that was a super chat. Okay, hold on. Dim the Limelight. I didn't realize that was a super chat. I screwed the freebie section. Pedgeman is like, come on, we need to get through the freebie section already. Okay, we have Dim the Limelight is a black instant, destroy target aura, and the permanent it's attached to. Ooh. So like we're making auras are so bad. Auras are like one of the worst. It's the worst card type in the game, all right? And we're making them worse. Like they're terrible. Above and beyond supreme garbage. You just because we can already like do the same thing by just killing the creature in response to the aura. And now, okay, this is like after the fact. Yeah, poor auras. They didn't even have a chance. Super poor. Okay, well, anyway, now is it legal? Sure, of course. Very dual. It's definitely possible. But I don't know why we're hating on like one of the worst card types that exist. Hey, there's a lot of good enchant creatures. Not wrong. If it's not bestow, then I don't think it's very good. All that glitters is looking at you. They can look at me all they want. The card's awful. You can name the best auras in the game, and they're still bad. At least not pauper legal. Oh, because it is that uncommon? I guess it's uncommon. Is there any good like aura-based I mean, it doesn't matter. Oh, I see. Now I get it. This is supposed to beat Boggles. Now I get it. Because you can't kill a Boggle because that's hexproof. So if you put auras on any sort of hexproof creature, now you can kill it. I got it. I see the idea. Very evil idea. Heads up to everyone with big super chats. We will take a look at them after the sponsor segment of the show. Okay, now let's go. We owe 2 freebies in the freebie section. Oh, we have a Phyrexian Lotus. What happens when there's an oil spill on your Lotus field? 0 mana Kindred Phyrexian Artifact. Tap, sacrifice Phyrexian Lotus, add 3 mana of any one color. You get 9 poison counters. Honestly broken. It's broken. The fact that you don't die, I mean, I know if you die there, then it's pointless. But yeah, it's broken. You only need to play 1 Black Lotus a game to make this like way too strong. Connor loves it. Huge fan. Does Black need a way to kill Boggles when it has sacrifice already? Yeah, exactly. I mean, that aura enchantment creature thing, it was just overkill all around. Most decks don't even use poison counters. Exactly. I mean, if you run up into the proliferate deck, you might feel sick to your stomach. But still, you're probably going to get the better end of this. Probably. You can even wait a few turns to see if anyone does have proliferate. Love the art of the card. Rancor is good, right? Nope. If you try to attach Rancor and then kill the creature in response, Rancor goes straight to the graveyard. Doesn't come back. Yeah, Rancor is like one of those better auras. Still not good. Still not good. The best auras are like they're bad cards. That's how they rank C on a tier list, in my opinion. Anime Dead is bad. That's a lot better, actually. Mainly because you are enchanting a dead creature, which is the whole point of it. Actually, that might be the best aura in the game. Now that I think about it, yeah, that's the best aura in the game. Sees legacy play, for crying out loud. I have nothing to say about this card. I think it's broken. We owe 1 more freebie though. Ooh, it's Mara, the Steel Collar. It is 4 mana for a 3/5 Spirit Artificer legendary creature. You may cast equipment spells for their equip costs. Let me reread that. You may cast... Oh, you cast the equipment spells for their equip cost. So if equipped for 2, yeah, that's a deal. That is a deal. Colossus Hammer players hate this card. You may pay the mana cost of equipment you control to activate their equipped abilities. Well, what is the point of this thing? Oh, now I don't know what the point of this thing is. Okay, I don't get a deal. I'm either going to get screwed up front or going to get screwed at back. Free Shuko? You still have to equip for, what, 1 mana. I can cast Lightning Grease for free, but the equip is going to cost you. Both are a may? Oh, you may. Oh, I see. So it lets you get the better end of both sides. Aha. Well, in that case, I think that's a banger card. A lot of equip players. This honestly, equipment needs this. A lot of people like equipment decks, but they're not that. They're very clunky. I'm not going to say they're not good. We're just going to say they're clunky as hell. They're jank. They're fun, I'm sure, but they need a card like Mara to like boost up the stats big time. Okay, with that sound, we're going to look at more custom Magic the Gathering cards. Don't go anywhere, but we got to thank our sponsor today, FusionGamingOnline.com. Don't forget, big Black Friday deals. It's not even Black Friday yet. Shop up 50% off Magic products, 50% off board games, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, and more. Don't forget to use. However, if you missed that deal, don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all your purchases, whether it be singles, sealed product, deck boxes, sleeves, and more. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. You like to be a creative player? Well, you'll be as creative as possible when you can rent cards digitally online with Mana Traders. Play all the decks and tune them in any sort of way. Have access to the entire card pool. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 40% cash back on your 3rd month subscription using coupon code Nikachu_4VU. And we go back to our crazy custom cards. You can pay for either cost with the... yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, Freed from the Real is also a really good aura. It's good in... It's, you know, that's like a... It's good in Commander type of card. All right, let's take a look at this huge super... We got huge super chats today. All right. Thank you very much, Blake Russell. Watch many of your VODs while working on custom Commander decks for my playgroup. Finally caught a stream. Here are some of my favorites. City of Horn. Hopefully you have submitted this via my Discord. City of Horn. You have 6. Okay, I'm going to do your 6, but you're breaking the rules here. You're supposed to look at what we have. It's called the 5-card limit for a reason. But you're new around here. So I won't eat the 5th one. Okay, but I'm going to look at 3. And then we're going to look at 3 more later. City of Horn, the 4-mana 8/8 beast. I like this. Look at this. You got like a city on a giant creature. That must swing like crazy. Like, imagine living on the back of an animal. Like, it's like constantly being in an earthquake. It's a beast. As long as you control 6 or fewer basic lands, City of Horn is a land. As long as you control 6 or fewer basic... So we have a creature that can be played as a land. As long as you control 6 or fewer basic lands. I don't get it. Are we casting this and it's a land? Like, it's not literally a land. City of Horn is a land. It is not a creature. You heard City of something else, huh? Okay, Trample. Tap, add green and a white. Whenever City of Horn attacks or blocks, destroy target artifact or land. And also landfall. When a City of Horn fights target creature. I mean, the card is absolutely broken. I don't know what to say about it. It's 4 mana for an 8/8, which is above and beyond, bigger than anything ever. Not to mention, every turn it's going to make people sack lands. I want to say, 1-on-1, this thing is insane. Also in Commander, it's probably insane. No, you do cast it. It's just a land until you have the required number. Ah, okay. So I can cast it for 4 mana, so I can't attack with it immediately. Then that might change things. That might change a little bit over here. So if I have 6 or fewer lands, then ramping into this is useless, like with Soul Ring, for example. It's Trample, so it adds 2 mana, but it's basically a glorified mana rock. When it attacks or blocks, destroy target artifact or land, but we need the 6 mana in play. Landfall. City of Horn fights target creature, but it's a land at first. Okay, you know, honestly, if that is true, Majra, then this whole card works. It's pretty cool. It's basically 4 mana for a land. I mean, it's like a mana rock. It's a 4-mana mana rock, which, if you get enough lands in play, all of a sudden becomes a gigantic threat. Hopefully it's not It's not super broken. Might be incredibly good value. Okay, we got Rax's Duplicious Bastard. Okay, it's a 3-mana 3/3 Elder Imp. If a player would draw 1 or more cards, instead that player and you each roll a d20. The player with the highest result draws cards equal to the roll. What? A d20? If a player would draw 1 or more cards, we're going to roll. And basically, we could draw our entire deck here. Whenever a player rolls a die, that player creates that many treasure tokens. Sacrifice X treasure tokens. Sorry, sacrifice X treasures. The next time you roll a die this turn, add X to that roll. Any player may activate this ability. I think this card is insane. It's got to be, I don't know, a D4 or something. Like, not D20. Like, because the player with the highest result draws a bazillion cards. And then whenever you roll, and also the winner gets so many treasures to cast the cards. This is Magic the Gambling. I don't know if it's, oh, I guess it has like a gambling picture on it. Nani? The card is absolutely cracked. I think it's too, it's not, I don't have to put it, it's not even strong, but it just swings the game unnecessarily for no reason. And I don't know if it's like a card that would be fun. If you replace D20 with D4, I think this card would be more reasonable. Because, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, if one person rolls 15, the other person rolls 2. So one person got 2 treasures, the other person got 15 and 15 cards. Also, the person who rolled a 2 didn't get squat because they didn't win the die roll. D4 has to be lower. D4. Yeah, chaos absolutely ensued here, which is also, this is not super chaos ensued, but it was a pretty wild, it's a pretty wild design. Okay, we got Marilay, a Spawn of the Seer. It's a 2-mana 2/2 human wizard. It is legendary. It's got prowess. Whenever another player would vote, you may have them draw a card. If you do, you choose how they vote instead. Ooh, interesting. You control their votes. So basically, I can choose whenever another player votes. So I guess what I can do is I can wait to see how everyone votes. I'm assuming that's how this works. And then I'll be like, okay, do you know what? Your vote switches. I'm gonna pay you a little money. And you're gonna look the other way. And I'm gonna change your vote around here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, ballot rigging in MTG. Stop the count. I don't know. We can say the count is gonna change. It's very, very, yeah. This is literally bribery. Okay, now that one definitely passes. It's a super pass. Yeah, you will vote for flying, or for deeply, or for sprout. Bingo alert! You heard the music. Oh, the gambling imp. Okay, we can have, yeah, that counts. Okay, we definitely have to get the free space off here. And we also improved a card to make the card insufferable to sufferable. Storm the Wizards of the Coast Capital. Yeah. Storm the head office. Get R&D. Or I don't know, change the rules to Magic the Gathering. Okay, thank you very much for your cards. We'll look at the next 3 a little bit later. Okay, next we've got 4 Pass of Life with Paradox World Part 7. Gotta keep an eye. Okay, Part 7. I gotta get my parts right. You people making series way in advance are messing with me. The Conflict of Individuality. Sounds like a psychology card. That's a 6-mana sorcery with assist. Another player can pay 4 mana of this spell's cost. Target opponent chooses a creature they control. Create a token that's a copy of the chosen creature. Repeat this process X times, where X is the number of mana you spent to cast this spell. X times? Repeat this process X times, where X is the number of mana. I don't get that. Yeah, this is, yeah, holy X's. This is a too many X's situation. Too much X. Way too many X's. He'll do the other half later. He cycles through. Yeah, I'm gonna get through your other. I'm gonna get through the whole cycles. I don't understand how this is worded. Like, this is not worded clearly enough to me. And then if a player assists casting the spell, put a -X counter on each creature, where X is the number of mana that player spent. Like, I don't understand what that means. What is it? Are you talking about the mana value? Are you talking about the amount of colorless spent to cast this? Are you like, I really don't get. Player can pay up to 4. Opponents will want to assist just to stop you from copying too many creatures. Is that the idea? Yeah, like that. If the mana spent is 6, So, like, does that mean 6 times the assist at the start? It still doesn't change much. Another player can pay up to 4 of the spell's mana cost. Repeat the process X times, where X is the number of mana you spent. Oh, I see. It just specifically says the amount of mana you spent to cast the spell. So I definitely get 2, and we're forcing people to pay. Okay, I got it. That's good enough for me. Okay, so you basically get 2 copies of target creature for 2 mana. Huh. But you know what? Target opponent chooses a creature they control. Oh, it has to choose a creature they control. Target opponent chooses a creature they... Oh, no, but you can choose... You can actually choose, like, a crappy creature and give them a bunch of them. Okay, it actually is completely fair. Okay, it's fair. I thought it'd be crazy broken. The Emergency Planetary Purge. A 3-mana instant with assist. Any player can pay up to 9 of this spell's mana cost. It's got Spree. Pay 1. Remove all counters from permanents. Pay or for 2. Exile all creatures during the next upkeep. Place all creatures exiled this way on the battlefield tapped. And also for 3 mana, tap all untapped lands. Those lands untap during the next upkeep. Tap all untapped lands. Those lands. Okay, so it's just temporarily they tap down. You can't cast spells for the rest of the turn. It's an instant speed card. Is this just like an anti-combo card or something? The Emergency Planetary Purge. Bow! Basically, you do nothing this turn. You can't attack. You can't tap lands. You have no permanence on your cards. That's the only way I'm looking at this. And everyone can get in on it. All right, it's like a charity. It's like a This is the GoFundMe series of cards. We got the Planetary Purge. If you want to support my GoFundMe, we got Conflict of Individuality. And the amount of assisted is a debuff of the copies? I suppose so. Anyway, it's a pretty interesting... This is a very interesting series. Taps all creatures. But for a turn... No, it exiles all creatures. During the... only for a turn, though. Okay, next up. We got Amalgam. Sentient of the Spark. The 4-mana, 1 loyalty Amalgam. Plus X. Target X shapeshifters and or creatures with changeling. Each target controller gains life equal to its power, then sacks it. That sounds terrible. Minus X, create a token that's a copy of X target differently named creatures, except they are shapeshifters, and gain changeling. Create a token copy of X target differently named creatures. Oh, I see. Okay, so at first, target X shapeshift. So we have to first target a bunch of shapeshifters. And it's got mutate at the bottom. Like, can we make this card even any more confusing? Yeah, let's mutate a planeswalker onto a human. If you cast this spell for its mutate cost, put it over or under target planeswalker. Oh, a planeswalker you own? They mutate into the planeswalker on top, plus all abilities underneath it. Then now that sounds broken. Because if you mutate on top of a planeswalker, you're doing it for 2 mana. If anything, I think the mutate cost should be more than the actual casting cost. Because you're doing that specifically to, like, steal the loyalty, right? Or how is that going to work? They mutate into the planeswalker on top, plus all abilities from underneath it. I can't conceive how this works. Tokens get screwed here. I understand, like, it's hard because you have to target shapeshifters first, enter creatures with changeling, and then that's the way you start plussing it. And then, well, no, but then you sack it. Create a token that's a copy of X target differently named creatures, except they are shapeshifters and gain changeling. And you get to copy a bunch of them too, if you have enough loyalty, which I don't even know how you get. You have to sack shapeshifters to get shapeshifters. Finally, we would make Tybalt not garbage. Yeah. Turn 2 Tybalt. Turn 3 Amalgam Sentient of the Spark. All right, this is... I'm going to give it a pass, but I have no idea how this is going to play in an actual game. Yeah, very, very situational for a Planeswalker. Hey, it might look situational to you, but it might be golden for the player that's making in the Changeling deck. Okay, we're going to look at the last card in that series later. I'm going to pass it off to, of course, Majra. Just so you know, Toilet Duck, this whole deck exists out of pure spite, directed at something you said. Never dare call me straight ever again. Also, the Presbytery Part 2. Okay, we have a spite series. Presbytery Part 2. Okay, we got Guess Who's Back? The Wandering Presbytite. Is that am I pronouncing that right? Presbytery. I had pronounced right last time. Okay, we got Brother Rico. It is a black, white, red 3/3 human cleric. We got Trample and Undying. Permanents your opponents control have Vanishing. What? Permanents your opponents... So what, they can disappear? Whenever a creature deals damage to you, you may exile a card from your graveyard and then put a number of times counters equal to its mana value to target non-land permanent. A time count? Is it going to gain... No, it doesn't gain suspend. It just gain... If you put time counters on something, does it gain suspend? Or does it just have a bunch of time counters on it? If it just has a bunch of time counters on your permanents, your opponent's control of vanishing? What does vanishing do? Hold on, I gotta look up. Vanishing MTG mechanic. It's a keyword that limits the number of turns a permanent can remain on the battlefield. It may have... So what? How does it work, though? What type of card has vanishing? Vanishing card. I just don't remember how this card works. Or how this mechanic works. I'm sure if I see, like, one card with it, it would make sense. Is this it? 4 knocks. Vanishing 4. This enchantment enters the battlefield with 4 time counters on it at the beginning of your upkeep. Remove a time counter from it. When the last is removed, sacrifice it. Oh, I see. Oh, that's terrible. Specifically said non... So basically it turns... So well, it says permits your opponent's control have vanishing. When a creature deals, you may exile a card from your graveyard, then put a number of time counters equal to its mana value on target non... Okay, I see. So all non-lands... So all permanents have vanishing, but you're only using the ability on a non-land. Okay, I guess that's okay. It feels very, very dangerous. 5+ words in a card to name for the mutate planeswalker. Oh, is that true? Thank you very much for letting us know. Boop. Moving on. Okay, we have the Book of the Unmaking, a 5-mana snare for 3 mana. When Book of Unmaking enters or is turned at face up, for each opponent, exile target non-land permanent that player controls. Exile target non-land. Okay, and its controller loses 2 life. Repeat this effect for each opponent with an empty graveyard. Sacrifice Book of Unmaking. Okay, I see. So you have, like, basically a removal spell for everybody, but if you have nothing in your graveyard, if it's wiped clean, you're gonna have something in your graveyard. You exile something, but then you're gonna exile something again. It's like, it's honestly sort of a weak removal spell. I want to say there's a lot... It's like a really clunky removal spell. One way or another, you're spending 5 mana on this. Check the bingo space that I just marked. Or was it the wrong one? 5 words. Oh, you're right. You're right. 5 words in the card name is over here. For the bingo fanatics. Gotta love that bingo. Yeah, we crossed off the wrong thing. So because it is like... I mean, it is targeted removal. The advantage of this Mardu removal spell is you can hit anything. So it's not like a Wrath only hits creatures, or red only hits artifacts, or the white only hits enchantments. You can basically, and it also exiles target non-land permanent. So I mean that's the benefit over here. And then we got, is this like V's brother or something? Brawler Priest, the 2-mana 2/1. This is a very buff looking 2/1, if you ask me. This can beat up a lot of Elephant tokens. Okay, human cleric. Brawler priest has first strike as long as defending player has no cards in their graveyard. I like this mechanic. So whenever brawler priest deals combat damage to a player, exile up to one target card from a graveyard. And then if you do, create a blood token. If no card is exiled this way, destroy target artifact. Honestly, I think you should actually buff this up a little bit more. I think you should say when it attacks, you can exile up to one target card from a graveyard. And then if you do, you create a blood token. That way, so if your opponent has like one card in graveyard, what I'm getting at is like if your opponent has one card in graveyard, this card is going to be really difficult to attack with. So if you change the ability to when it attacks, you exile cards, then it gets the first strike and it makes it harder for your opponent to block, like a lot harder. And also gives it some value regardless if it dies or not anyway. It looks too real. It's the most real card we've seen all day. But I actually think you could just exile the card. Oh, sorry. If no card is exiled this way, destroy. Oh, I see. Maybe that could be like a separate ability when it deals damage. Okay, I understand the way you worded it. If you really want this buff, because just attacking and destroying artifacts might be too strong. If I would have to look at some other cards that are like, does anything just attack and destroy artifacts? Like maybe it makes so much sense to deal damage and destroy artifacts, but it doesn't make so much sense to attack. You could say, okay, you could word it like this. Whenever it attacks, you exile a card from a graveyard. And then when it deals damage, if you exiled a card from a graveyard, destroy target artifact or something like that. Okay, thanks so much for the cards, Majra. We'll take a look at some more later. And then we're going to move on now to Dam draws with the reclaimed city space and the monkey make mighty. City space. Reclaimed city space. Maybe just reclaimed. I don't know why I couldn't find it. Okay, we got reclaim. Where's reclaim city space? Reclaim city space. So, cityscape. You had a typo, Dam draws. You had a typo. It's okay. I found it. I've been through this show before. Okay, it's a land. To add a green or a black. Well, reclaimed cityscape is fortified. What? Creatures you control get +0/+2. So we need an equipment fortifying to the reclaimed cityscape. I can't remember. Did you have like fortified cards last week? This is very funny. I think this is very entertaining. Outside of that, it's just a normal land. Okay, I have nothing else to say about this. And it's a balanced land because you can't even search it out, but it's very clean. Maybe we should have more lands like this. Yeah, if my land isn't, if the land is enchanted or fortified, creatures you control get +0/+2. Actually, you probably could add that to this because there's just so few fortification cards in this game. But there's more auras, and also there's quite a few auras in green, like Utopia Sprawl and so on, Wild Growth, that it would make this thing useful. And you got the Monkey Make a Mighty. They're very good construction workers. Hopefully there's a lot. They'll have life insurance. I don't see them strapped to anything. Actually, if a monkey fell, would they die? I would imagine like the monkey has some means of just jumping to the other side. We have a bingo alert. There's a Majra series. Majra hasn't been here every week. Okay, I forgot that we have a bingo spot from. There we go. The Majra series. Thank you so much, Coffee Crew. You never miss those bingo spaces. Wait, is this just an untapped dual land? Is that not broken? No, because you the last one, you can't search for it. So you can't look for it with fetch lands. Well, I mean, you might think of it as like superior, but it doesn't count to swamps or forests. So it's not quite the same as like just a regular revised land. It's a little clunky. Okay, this is a fortification, by the way, for 1 mana. It's indestructible. Oh, the fortified land is indestructible. Fortified land has pay 1, untap. activate only as a sorcery, and only once per turn, fortify for 2. So if you get like Wild Growth plus the Monkey Make Mighty, you have infinite mana, which is a-okay by me. Hey, if you try to put two cards on your land to go for infinite mana, that's like a 3-card combo. I don't know what to say. That's fair. In the age of 2022, that's definitely fair. Madra's like, is there a bingo for me? Yeah, we have got a bingo spot just for you over there. Comes into play untapped. Pretty good, chat. It does come into play untapped. You have to fortify for 2, all right? You gotta spend money. You gotta spend mana to make mana around here. You'll spend mana to make mana. Okay, next up we got Darth Taurus. We got Compost and Jar of Wispus. Whatever that's all about. 2 more cards from my BOL set. Compost and Jar of... Oh, it's the Jar of Wisps? What's a wisp? Is it like a fairy or something? Here we got Compost. Anyone Compost out there? Anyone make compost? Anyone have a backyard where they have a garden? Okay, Golgari. Then the weird hybrid. Okay, this is 4 mana or 6 mana. You pick or choose. Artifact. Compost doesn't untap on your untap step. Green. Tap. Sacrifice any number of gold and or treasure tokens. Create a 1/1 green insect creature token with flying for each gold token sacrificed this way, and a 1/1 black spider creature token with reach for each treasure sacrifice this way. I have no idea what the flavor is to that. I sacrifice my treasure and I get bugs. And it would appear that in the image there is coins being thrown at the compost. I guess it's going to attract... That is a big pile of shite. Yes, that's right. Big Triceratops has just been here. Then for black, sacrifice an insect and a spider. Untapped compost. What the hell is the flavor to that? Okay, like, I mean, outside of flavor, yeah, this card's okay. This card's fine. So you exchange gold and treasure for insects, and then you can re-exchange the insects. When compost doesn't untap, oh, you can. It's just an activated ability. You're supposed to have like a semicolon here or something. Sacrifice an insect. Oh no, you do have it over there. Sorry about that. Compost is an actual card, green and 1, with whenever a black card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, you may draw a card. See, that's a flavor win. That actually makes sense. Okay, so this card is partially disqualified because you used a name of a card that already exists. But then outside of that, okay, the card is fine. Flavor is like a huge fail. What is gold have anything to do with compost? Also, I mean, I guess the bugs make sense, but it's supposed to be like, you know, old food. It should be sacrifice, I don't know, food tokens. Yeah, exactly. It would make more sense for food. And I can understand you. And I don't understand how you sacrifice the insects and then you get compost. You can untap the compost. I don't know. Huge flavor fail. But the card is totally fine. Okay, next up we got Jar of Wisps for 5 mana. It's an artifact. Enters tapped with 6 charge counters on it. Now for 2 mana, tap remove 6 charge counters from Jar of Wisps. So we're like removing all the charge counters that we just put on it. Create 6 1/1 blue and white spirit creature tokens with flying. Whenever a non-token creature you don't control dies, put a charge counter of Jar of Wisps. Okay, so we have to build up a lot of charge counters here. Create 6 1/1 blue and white spirit creature tokens with flying. Your faith grows. This is very, very fair. It's legit. It's legit. You can play it. Actually, if you have 7 mana, you can activate it immediately. So whenever non-token creature you don't control. Oh, so when your opponent's creatures dies, you actually get more power. Huh. How does our faith? It's another flavor fail. So our opponent's creatures die, but our faith grows. I guess because we're the survivors. Dartaurus is like, how am I supposed to check every name for every item in the Binding of Isaac game? Oh, is this Is this from another game? Is this based on another game? Where money is exchanged for insects based on compost? This thing I can understand by itself. This is a token generator. And I think there's a lot of token players that would like this token generator. I can see this with board wipes is a huge, like, massive combo. Because you, like, play a board wipe, all your opponent's creatures dies, and you get a bunch of charge counters on your Jar of Wisps to win with. So that works for me. That's cool. Okay, next up, let's take a look at Nova, the Space Wolf. Wait. The first two cards not listed are new keywords and a list. Zoe, the Everchild. Let's look at Zoe. Okay, so the first two cards, they're keywords. We got the Shield Counter and Invoke. That's great. I'm not reading all those things. And you have 3 other cards. Oh no, sorry. You have 5 cards. You got 5 cards, but they're 2-sided cards. Okay, so we'll look through it. So I'm gonna have to read a little bit of this. Spell Shield Counter. If a permanent with a Spell Shield Counter on it would be affected by an instant or sorcery, or activated ability by an opponent, remove Spell Shield Counter from it and ignore the effect. So it's like, isn't it just a shield counter? Instant sorcery or activated ability. Even an activated ability, it's just like a shield counter. And Invoke, unless stated otherwise, randomly decide a number between 1 and 22 3 times. Choose one of the 3 options. Create an exiled celestial card determined by the Targon Celestial Pool reference card. You may cast what? You know, if I have to know that, that's like an extra card. Okay, Zoe, the Everchild. For 1 mana, it's got elusive. Can only be blocked by other creatures with elusive. So it's basically Shadow. When Zoe, the Everchild, deals combat damage to an opponent, invoke a celestial card with mana value of 3 or less. So we get a 2. Okay, we get 2. An exiled celestial card from the reference card pool. Well, it's really hard, honestly, to like rate this because I don't know what any of these cards are. So like I have to basically judge this without knowing like what like this card does. It's like very unset like. Bro copy and pasted the Rude Terra cards. Yeah. Hey. Oh, do we have, is that on the bingo card? Taking from other games, other TCGs? No, we don't have that here. We don't. Okay. Okay, each time you cast a spell with a different name, put a Twilight counter on Zoe. Twilight counters cannot be proliferated or copied in any way. When Zoe, the I love how quite a few of you make cards that are like, this cannot be done in any way. This cannot be interacted with in any way. This cannot be removed with in any way. It's like this blanket term. Whatever you're trying to do, it won't do it. Effectively. Yeah, this is like basically choose from the spellbook of Arena. When Zoe the Everchild has 10 or more Twilight counters, you are going to transform it into Zoe the Aspect of Twilight. This is a 2/2 with elusive. The first time Zoe, the Aspect of Twilight, transforms. For the rest of the game, whenever you cast a creature, all creatures you control get that creature's keywords. And then, that sounds insane. When Zoe, the Aspect of Twilight, deals combat damage to an opponent, invoke a Celestial card. I want to say this Celestial card thing is broken. So it's 1 mana, create a creature? Or I don't even know if it's a creature. I don't even know what these Celestial cards are. So, like, I'm going to have to give sort of all these Celestial cards, I'm going to have to give it, like, I can't rate them because I don't know what you could put into play. It's Zoe? Oh, sorry. It's Zoe. I'm an idiot. I know how to pronounce Zoe. The next card is an example of a Celestial card. All right, let's go take a look at one. It's a 10/10. Oh, it's a token artifact for 10 mana. Tap, sacrifice Living Legends, invoke until you create X Celestial cards, where X is the number of cards in your hand. untap all permanents you control that produce mana. I don't get this. So it's a celestial card in itself, but it can invoke more celestial cards, right? Is that how I'm understanding this? It sounds like invoking is conjuring. Like you conjure a card into existence from outside the game. So we get this. So we get, if we could invoke for 10, then we get this thing. Or sorry, hold on. No, I don't understand this. This is a celestial card. Okay, so we can get, if we can get a celestial card for 10, we get this in play, and then we invoke until we create X celestial cards, where X is the number of cards in your hand. They are undercosted creatures, basically. I can't unsee that invoke in the reference card with a different font, though. Okay, well, this again, I still like. I can't rate this because I don't know what the like. I have no idea what this card does. Basically, there's an artifact and a creature for each mana value from 0 mana to 10 mana. Yeah, I understand. Okay. Thank you very much for submitting those cards. We're going to move on now. We're going to move on to Steve Cooper. I will get back to your last dual card, though, later. Steve Cooper has Grab Bag of Cards Series 3. 4 cards plus Teamer version 2-1 solo post. Okay, hold on. So you have 4 cards. Grab Bag. Are they raccoon cards? We got the Blurred Face Changer. That's creepy. Like from a horror movie. 4 mana for a 0/0 shapeshifter rogue. It's got changeling. You may have this creature enter as a copy of target creature on the battlefield, except it has changeling. And 3 mana, exile this creature, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. Oh, so you can blink it, and it can be like another creature. It's like a clone that's like, I'm another clone. I want to say, did Evil Twin do something like that? I want to say it did something like that. You may have this creature enter as a copy of target creature. Yeah, except as changeling. And then you can exile it and blink it back. And then again, you can copy something else. I think this is a... I want to say this is like the final form of a clone card. Yeah, exactly. I'm very surprised that Wizards of the Coast never made something like this. Unless they saw something dangerous about it. That this thing could get out of control. Because after all, at end of turn, you can just go, like, pay 3 mana and always have the best creature on the battlefield. Oh, you know what's one problem with this card? It's ETB. Maybe it's the ETB part. Maybe it needs to have something like phase this card out, return it to the battlefield. No, phasing doesn't work either. So, but is that so bad? If I have 6 mana up, that I get 2 ETBs? Maybe not. Bingo alert! You can't get rid of this thing. Of course you can get. If you're tapped out, it will die. It will absolutely die. Oh, that is a false bingo alert. If you tap out for 4 mana to play this thing, I could kill it instantly. Ryan, saving me here. Evil Twin had a pay ability to destroy the creature cloned. Oh, so it couldn't clone anything else? Well, maybe I'm thinking of something else. I'm surprised. Yeah, I think that's cool. It's Zybers. That's how good it's Zybers. Why have no picture here, Steve Cooper? We got Turncoat Martyrdom. Sorry, yeah, Martyrdom is a Mardu instant. Exile target creature. Return it to the battlefield under your control. It gains haste. Sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. But why? Like, what's the difference between this and just yoinking the damn thing? Gets around, like, people stealing cards? Exile target creature, return it. I guess you... Oh, I guess what you can do, actually, is you can steal your own creature in response to removal. Free ETB? Yeah, free. You have to sack your creature at end of turn. Free? It's like free with a catch. You didn't read the dotted line here. That's how the banks get you, okay? You gotta read the dotted line. Gotta understand how APR works. Sack it at the beginning of the next end step. No, but I understand now. So you can steal your opponent's creatures, or in response to your opponent's removal, you can steal your own creature and still get like I'll squeeze a little bit of value out of it before it goes down in flames. And you can get the opponent's ETB effects too. Oh, right. Yeah, it wouldn't just happen with the yoink. So you don't just yoink. I guess Steve Cooper was trying to explain that to me. Yeah, you get the ETB of the thing that you steal. That works out. All right, then that's even better. It's got 2 advantages. Okay, then we got Poor Man's Feast. 3-mana enchantment with ward. Sacrifice 5 treasures and or gold tokens. If an opponent would create 1 or more treasure and or gold tokens, they create that many food tokens instead. This is gonna screw. Do you know what this is gonna do? It's going to screw over compost. Wow, we have Steve Cooper already undermining other people's cards on the same show. Who submitted that? It's to poor Darth Taurus. Poor Darth Taurus. Your compost card is ruined. Because you'll never get if an opponent would create 1 or more treasure or gold tokens, they create that many food tokens instead. You can't use food. You need the gold tokens, right? Gold and treasures. Is it too strong? Probably not. When we create tokens, they get food. I think it actually makes the game fair. Hell, I think they could have this at 3 mana. They already had to print an answer to how strong. Yeah, we had to balance out compost. It was broken. Compost was getting out of control. The metagame. You know, yeah, they had 2 choices. They could ban compost or they could print Poor Man's Feast. They chose Poor Man's Feast. Okay, funny card. It's funny how randomly sometimes people's cards end up getting balanced out by other people's cards. Okay, let's go back to 4 Paths of Life's Paradox World. I'll give you another super chat sound effect. It was part 7, right? So we're gonna look at the last 2 cards here. Or sorry, it's a double card. A double. Okay, Bubbling Lava Bed? Question mark. We don't know what that is. That is a very sus lava bed. 4 mana for a Paradox Sorcery. Tap all creatures with flying, then put a stun counter on each of those creatures. Deal 2 damage to all other creatures and planeswalkers. After resolving Bubbling Lava Bed, place it transformed on the battlefield. Tapped. Into the Paradox Lava Bed. Is it the same thing? Paradox it's Bubbling Lava Bed at first, and then turns into Paradox Lava Bed. It's a Paradox land. Tap for a blue or a white. Pay 2. Sacrifice Paradox Lava Bed. Counter target spell or ability an opponent controls. If you countered a creature or a creature spell or ability, gain life equal to its mana value. Some value. A land that's a counter spell. That is brutal. And this is just a sorcery. So we ramp. This card's insane. I mean, it is 4 mana. So we tap flying creatures and deal 2 damage to all other creatures. And then we're basically ramping a land. But we have to pay more mana to counter stuff later. All right, this is not so easy to play, so I'm going to definitely say it's an interesting design. I like the idea of sorceries turning into lands. Best control card you've ever seen. It's like a very clunky burn spell. So it's no Pyroclasm. Like it's double the cost of Pyroclasm. It's no Wrath of God. So definitely aren't going to kill everything. And that's the whole thing. Okay, I think it's neat. I think it's neat. Okay, next up, we got Blake Russell's other 2 cards. We have Mirror. Hold on, let me look up one. City of Horn, I think it was. Oh, we have 3 other cards. Okay, we'll look at your 3 other cards here. Starting with the Ranking Ceremony. This is a 3 mana sorcery. For each power among creatures on the battlefield, choose a creature with that power, then do the same for toughness. Return all other creatures to their owner's hands. Aha. There can only be one with 4 toughness and also 4 power. Across all of the Augustin from Galom to Zalindria, the quest for the most renown begins. It's a weird bounce. Like, it's basically a really weird bounce spell, but it still works. So you can choose... I'm assuming you could do this in a way that you keep all your creatures and bounce everyone else's. Then do the same for toughness. For each power... creature with that power. Okay, so, like, if there's 3 creatures with 3 toughness, I choose, like, one of mine that I want to keep. And we just bounce everything else. Hey there, Armando. Good flavor. The fumes knocked out the flyers. Okay, and Commander, I guess. Quite bad standard. I have no idea if this how good this is. I think this is a bomb card in, say, an Asimic like deck where you set up a really good board state, then your opponent tries to compete with it by playing creatures, and then you like ranking the ceremony. I think this would be very strong in standard. I think it'd be very strong in the right deck, of course. Works well with Coven. I have no idea who Coven is. Anti-creature token? I mean, it's basically like a weird upheaval. Or I don't know how to put it. There are some other cards that bounce your opponent's stuff back to their hand, but it's really clunky. Yeah, the whole idea is that you one-sided wipe with this. Cool card. Well, someone's working late, and it's Alan Douglas. This is a 3-mana 1/1 human assistant with indestructible. I didn't know doing office work was indestructible, but you know what? At the same time, you can't touch someone who's in the office. You know how you get so angry over someone on the internet? Well, they're basically indestructible because, like, who knows where they are. Whenever a creature is dealt damage, investigate. And also whenever you sacrifice a clue, you may transform Alan Douglas into, I assume this, the Rogue Legionnaire. Is this the Flash or something? I don't know who this is. Or is this a real superhero? Or is this a made-up superhero? He's indestructible because he looks like the IRS worker. Is this like an alternative to Superman or something? Flying Vigilance indestructible. Whenever you prevent damage, you may draw X cards and gain X life, where X is the amount of damage prevented. Oh my god. And at the end of each combat, you may transform Rogue Legionnaire. Why would we ever want to transform it? Just keep it as it is. Ooh, Pyroclasm. Clues everywhere. Oh, this is a made-up superhero? It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Superman. No, you idiot. It's Rogue Legionnaire. I didn't know Superman had a purple cape and blue outfit. It's not. And every single time Rogue Legionnaire comes to save someone, people are like, Superman, thank you. I'm not Superman. I'm the Rogue Legionnaire, damn it. Kryptonite does nothing to me. But you shrink me in human. But Plague Engineer does a huge number. It's $5 a card now because Nikachu got Cleaning Lady. Oh, it's $5 a card because you people are crazy. You got like a lot of... If you try, you all will submit cards until the show is like 3 hours and 30 minutes long. And it's too long. The shows are too long. Okay, this is a neat card. Hold on, is it too broken? Indestructible whenever a creature is dealt damage, investigate. Whenever you sacrifice a clue. No, I think you work... Your cards are pretty balanced. Your only unhinged one was this one. That was that was completely nuts. It's like, that is some unset level worthy card. Okay, we got the damn draws with Barf and Lone Star. I love it. Hold on, I want a different sound effect. We got Barf and a Lone Star. 1 week at a time. We're gonna get all of... Let me get Barf. Barf! Barf! For the Spaceball fans out there. I still hear in the comments section of how are you a fan of Spaceballs? You even know what Spaceballs is? Yeah, Spaceballs reference. Could almost be a bingo card. bingo cards slot. Okay, 3 mana for a 2/3 human dog. Partner with Lone Star Outlaw. That is a huge flavor win right there. Okay, if a creature you control with power toughness 2 or less would be destroyed, you may tap and put a stun counter on it and tap Barf instead. Activate only if Barf isn't tapped or stunned. Creature control with power 2 or less would be destroyed. Tap it and put a stun counter on it. Is because like they zap them or something? I think they use the stunners or the stun guns, stun lasers. That's the only thing that's the only way I can understand this reference or this mechanic. And then we have Captain Lone Star, and his Schwartz is quite big. Okay, we have a 3 mana 2/2 human rogue, partner with Barf the Mog. When Lone Star enters, draw a card, then discard a card. If a non-land, non-creature card was discarded this way, create a tap treasure token. And vehicles crewed by Lone Star gain Absorb 2. I don't remember the mechanic of Absorb, but I like that. I do like that it crews. Vehicles crewed by Lone Star, because after all, he's a captain. Captain of a ship. He is a rogue too. Enters, draw a card, then discard a card. Just like the thief he is. Is he a thief? I can't remember. He's a thug of some sort. If I compare him to like Han Solo. Pizza the Hut. I see your Schwartz is as big as mine. May the Schwartz be with you. I love it. I love the Spaceballs cards. Okay, next up we've got let's get another one from Darth Taurus. The Polaroid V1 and the negative. Oh, sorry, these are the Polaroid, I guess, version 1. Okay, we got the Polaroid. 3 mana for an equipment. This is an equipment that costs colored mana. Whenever equipped creature would die, its base toughness becomes 1 instead. Then put a shield counter on it and it gains hexproof until end of turn. Whenever equipped creature would die, its base toughness becomes 1 instead. Then put a shield counter on it, gains hexproof until end of turn. Equip for 4 mana. So, hold on, you can't kill it, is what you're telling me here. It's like indestructible. I think that is a bingo slot. Where is it? You can't get rid of this card. You just can't get rid of this damn thing. Yeah, the creature is basically immortal. I mean, whoops. So long as you have this thing equipped, it just doesn't go anywhere. So you have to kill the Polaroid first. That's not how dying works, though. Whenever equipped creature would die, would you want to put if equipped creature would die, or if this creature would be destroyed? This way, a creature survives being sacrificed too. Yeah, basically. Still dies to a -1/-1 counters, though, right? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it breaks the game at that point. Its base toughness becomes 1. I think it would just be perpetually... Yeah, maybe this card breaks the rules. If the creature would die, if it would always come back with 1 toughness after it dies, but it has a -1/-1 counter on it, then it doesn't. Then it dies again, but it wouldn't die. It just keeps coming back. If it didn't die, damage remains. You might be right. Okay, I think this. I know what you're trying to do. I have no idea how to make it work. It just does. I think it needs to be something like it has to die, but then it can come back with what it can come back from the graveyard with 1 toughness, and then you can put how about this? Whenever a equipped creature would die, return it from the graveyard back to the battlefield, equipped to this equipment. Its base toughness becomes 1. Put a shield counter on it and gains hexproof until end of turn. I think that's how you want to make it worded. Give it a finality counter instead or something. No, I don't think that fixes this problem of perpetually dying and staying on the battlefield. It only stops destroy effects. They're trying to give it something similar to regenerate, but better. Oh yeah, I see that. I mean, they're trying to make sure their creature doesn't leave ever. Or I guess the idea is it's a picture. Do you want it to just be on the battlefield as like not a creature? You could put like the creature, if the creature dies, put it back onto the battlefield as like an artifact with like as an artifact that's it comes back, it has I have no idea how to word it. But basically, yeah, maybe the finality either the finality counter or it just comes back onto the battlefield. Its toughness becomes 1, equip the equipment, and it gets all the other abilities. But it has to leave. It's got to leave. Because, like, if it's dealt damage and would die, then it's just perpetually dying. And the game sort of gets locked up, if you know what I mean. Can't lock the game around here. Okay, next up, let's take a look at oh, sorry, we're not done with Dartaurus. We got the negative one. Sorry, the negative version one. Oh, this is the opposite. So we got the Polaroid, now we got the negative. Is it just as confusing? 3 mana. Equipped creature gets +2/+0. Whenever equipped creature is dealt damage, it deals 2 damage to all creatures your opponents control. Oh my god! That could be... It could be broken, but the cost on this is enormous. It's 7 mana. So you gotta play this. It's probably fair. It's it's probably not very fun to play against. It's a lot of work. I have to admit, it's a lot of work to get online. Because you have to play a creature. You pay 3 mana. Then you gotta pay 4 mana to equip it. Your creature could die in response. Then you need to like deal damage to your own creature. I think at the end of the day, yeah, I'm evaluating this card. This is very, very, very fair. In fact, I might even say it's underpowered with the amount of work you have to get this thing online. Just do Pyroclasm your opponent's board, and Pyroclasm may not even be that strong by the time you get it online. I need to limit the conditions of when it dies. Oh yeah, you gotta make it work. I mean, just give it. Look at the finality mechanic, like a lot of people said. Okay, so I've gone back. This is a totally fair and super fair and fine card. Jess says it's $5 now because Nikachu got into crypto. I did not get into crypto. Those are rumors. It never happened. Full disclosure, I have no crypto. With the exception of cards on Magic the Gathering Online. That's the closest I have to crypto. That's the closest I have to digital assets that can be exchanged for other digital assets. Okay, Majra, let's look at your last 2 cards. You've got the Presbytery Part 2. The Bite. And it's part 2 of all the parts. Oops. Brother of Banishment. Majra, you love the hybrid, using hybrids of stuff. Okay, this is 2 mana, 2/1, human cleric. It's got first strike. If a creature an opponent controls would die and it was dealt damage by a cleric you control this turn, you exile it instead. That is totally fine. Do I have like a... It's not exactly a disappearing sound effect. Okay, they get exiled. They go straight to heaven, not in the graveyard. They voted for flying not deeply. Does look dope. Super dope. It's also very anime-like. They got like belts on the jacket. You know how anime loves belts. They put belts on everything, on the legs, on the arms. Because you never know when your jacket or pants might fall down. Yeah, get exercise, dork. Alright, that's a pretty good utility card against graveyard shenanigan decks. Next, we got the Claws of Divine Rage. This is a 3 mana equipment. When Claws of Divine Rage enters, attach it to target cleric you control. When clerics attack, equipped creature gets +1/+0 for each cleric you control and has trample and wither. Also, oh man, it's, you know, You guys make me think like Wizards needs to bring back the Wither mechanic with the amount of like popularity towards it. There's just not enough Wither cards. Equip for 3. Oh, and you want to miracle this thing onto the battlefield for 1? Gets +1/+0 for each cleric you control and has trample and Wither. Yeah, that's fair. I think it's hard to use, to be honest, because if you don't have any clerics in play, then it's not going to be that strong. It's what does it remind me of? Reminds me of some goblin cards. That's like, oh, this goblin gets +X/+0 for each goblin you have in play. But goblin snowball, I think, a lot better than cleric. So this definitely is a very, very fair card. Yu-Gi-Oh loves belts. Yeah, I know. Watching a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh. I see the belts that they're wearing. They'd be wearing belts around there. Okay, Nova the Space Wolf. Let's see this other chaotic card you have. What's it called? Gonna look up Zoe. Look up Zoe again. Sorry, Zoe. I already forgot. Look how stupid I am. Okay, you're. Oh my God! You know what? I don't have to see this right now. This 100% is a Yu-Gi-Oh card. That is Yu-Gi-Oh level. Yu-Gi-Oh card. Too much text. That's an ungodly amount of text around there. Holy moly. What does this even cost? This is a Dimitri card. It's 10 mana for a 10/10. It's a Targonian Dragon God. I think that's also 5 cards in the card type. 5 words in card type. That hits another bingo. Yeah, more than a 10. Yeah, more than 10/10. All right, I gotta lean in. This is one of those cards I gotta lean in to see what the hell it says. Fury. When this creature destroys another creature, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Aurelian Soul enters with a spell shield counter. If a permanent with a spell shield counter on it would be affected by an instant sorcerer activated ability by an opponent that targets. Oh yeah, the spell shield counter. It's like a shield counter. When Aurelian Soul enters, invoke a celestial with a mana value of 7 or more. At the start of your upkeep, invoke, and then when you have a total of 20 or more power among creatures you control, transform your Aurelian Soul into the Aurelian Soul, the Starforger. I wonder if it's related to Soul Ring. Also has Fury. And when it transforms, put a spell shield counter on it as well. When Aurelian Soul, the Starforger, transforms, invoke a celestial with mana value 7 or more, which means it can go get this 10 power or this 10 mana one. And then at the start of your upkeep, invoke, and then celestial cards you control cost 0. Again, this is one of those cards I can't judge. It's impossible. I don't know what it can do. It can do anything. It's probably broken. You know, if I were to take a gut guess, it's probably broken somehow. This is one of those cards I just need to cheat and play with, like, what's it called? I need to cheat and play with Show and Tell, and then hopefully it just wins by itself. Bingo alert! More than a 10/10. Oh yeah, the other side is an 11/11. You're right. True story. Where is it? More than a 10/10. Boom. We're on our way. Let's fix that so everyone can see the bingo card. This card is just way too much text. So many mechanics and text. Yeah, we have 5 how many mechanics do we have? 1, 2, 3. Same one, but a different one. We have the transform mechanic. At least 3, maybe 4 mechanics. 4 mechanics if you include the transform. Yeah, 3 bingos on a single card is basically designed for the bingo card. Does this count as a Nikachu can't read card? Physically difficult to read it? No. When I can't read, it's like when I read it and I just came out with some completely different interpretation. New creature type? Oh, the Targonian Dragon God? Yeah, not so many Targonians in this game. Does that, we should just see in advance. Does it have Haste and Menace? Haste and Menace? Haste and Menace? No, I don't see it here. All right, thank you very much for submitting your cards. I really appreciate it. Okay, next up. we've got Steve Cooper has one more card and also a donation to somebody. Grab Bag of Cards Series 3. Okay, you want the fourth one, and then you donated one to someone. Green Instant. Target non-land permanent gains cumulative upkeep 1. Also scry 1. Target non-land permanent gains. It's basically green removal. This card actually makes me laugh. You're gonna die. You're gonna die slowly, though. The organic way, frankly. Yeah, let's not be called cards stupid. The cards are all entertaining. This is all for entertaining purposes only. Yeah, get aged. Oh yeah, I guess that's what it's. That's the flavor. You're gonna die of old age, effectively, one at a time. There was a fifth card. The team. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm gonna get your. I see it here. The teamer. I'm gonna get to it. Oh, oh, that's your card. Oh, I see. It's a soul. I thought it was a donation to somebody else. I would have went to it and found out it was your card. This card is really cool. I mean, I guess it's. I'm not gonna hate on it. Not broken and very versatile removal. I mean, it's possible it is broken. Like, turn 1, your opponent plays, say, a creature, and I go turn 1 days numbered. Like, what does my opponent do? Start paying for that creature? Probably not. Like, at best, maybe they don't have a 1-drop or 2-drop in hand, so they pay for the cumulative upkeep just once. Deal damage with their creature and then be done with it. But probably it is, like, this might be just pure removal. As a green fan, green removal makes me happy. It's probably the way to make it fair. Okay, I like it. It is. Honestly, also, later on in the game, it's terrible. Like, on turn 4, I mean, probably it might be even too late. So it has to be fair. And then we're going to look up Teamer. Is that... Okay, that has to be a blue, red, green card. Steve Cooper, it has to be. Teamer. Version 2.1. It is! The gag was real. Okay, Teamer with all the hybrid manas for a 0/4 food wall. Defender, haste, flying, and trample. But no menace. Okay, pay 2, tap. Sacrifice this artifact. You gain 3 life. Defender. So I can immediately tap it. It's got like a bunch of useless abilities. So Defender is not very useful. The haste is only useful to sacrifice it. Trample is useless. The flying is okay. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, this card is not very good. Oh, there's a joke. Another joke in here. Apparently, mer means wall in French. It is a teamer. And it's got T. Are you French, Steve Cooper? Bonjour. J'aime pas suis le fromage noir. Look at me, flexing all the French that I know. Okay, yes. Yes. It is a card that may exist. I literally don't I literally don't know what you would do with it. Is there a way to break this, or is this just for comedy reasons? Michael Canham with 30 pieces of silver. By the way, was there anyone who, just out of curiosity, anyone French, like, catch that immediately and they thought, oh, that's funny? Anyway, okay, 30 pieces of silver. It's a 0-mana sorcery. Gain control of each creature and each planeswalker that player, that target opponent controls. That player creates 30 treasure tokens. Gain control of each creature. That is broken. It's broken! Oh my god. This thing is insane. Like, you would never play it early. You just play it late game when they can't even use the treasure tokens very well. Like, they're empty-handed. Like, so you just... This is, like... It's not even necessary to be 0 mana. If you made this 6 mana, I think it probably still would be broken. Yeah, that's a lot. Oh, is this a Judas card? Is this a religious card? And that and that's how Compost is broken. Yeah, there we go. Here, Compost has re-entered the chat. Compost. And the coin tokens. The betrayal for the coins. Yeah, Judas is very... There's a lot of bribery cards here today. Okay, I think this card is broken. I just think it's, like... I don't even know how to make it fair! Control of each... I think you just have to... You have to make it, like, 7 mana or something. This effect is insane. Turn 1, give your commander buddy 30 mana. Gain control... Oh, yeah! You could do that, too! Yeah, you could... On turn 1... I'm just... Okay, 30 pieces of silver. Gain control of each creature and planeswalker that target opponent controls, and then they create 30 treasure tokens, just basically king make on turn 1. That'd be terrible. Okay, I'll tell you the play here. Turn 1, 30 pieces of silver, scoop up, and then leave the game. Just leave. Do it to a play group that you feel like has screwed you over too many times. That's the line. That's the line. Anyway, yeah, broken. Nola! Just to see if I could. Why not? Just to see if I could. Uh-oh. Just to see if... Just to see if... Just... Oh, you didn't post it, I bet. You probably... Or you posted it, but you didn't give it a name. Supposed to give it a name, Nola. You gotta give these things names. Where's your card? Nola! Yeah, hello. Where'd you put your card? Or is it, or was this a donation for the bingo thing? Because there's a super chat to complete the bingo, even though it will not complete any bingo. It was a rough day today. It was a very rough day. I don't see a card being called just to see if I could. If I could. How about if I could? Oh, you called it. I wanted to see if I wanted to see if I could. Okay, what the hell is this? John of 5+ words. Oh, is this like literally just filling in all the bingo slots? 3 mana. And it's funny, the mana, it should be like white, blue, blue. This is very AI generated looking. Legendary creature, human, 5+ words. It's a 2/10. Okay, we have X blue tap. Put X 2/2 white and blue human soldier tokens with lifelink onto the battlefield. Whenever a human you control dies, choose one. Return target creature card from the battlefield to its controller's hand, and you gain 2 life. Honestly, I think this card is relatively fair. So it's got this big activated... Well, actually, there is one problem. That's okay, I take it back. The 10 toughness for 3 mana is a bit suspicious. Oh! I didn't even catch that. Look at that. The mana cost is uwu. Yeah, uwu mana cost. Yeah, I take it back. You know, 10 toughness. That's a lot of toughness, in my opinion. So we have to lower the toughness somehow. I mean, it still dies to a lot of stuff. You make the white and blue human soldier creature tokens with lifelink. Pay blue. It's really hard to kill. Whenever a human you control dies, choose one. Return target creature card from the battlefield to its controller's hand, or you gain 2 life. So if my human dies, I can bounce other people's cards. Give him Defender, and he kill peeps. I think you could just make it a 2/3, and this card would be fair. At 2/10, probably not. It's just the card is just a little too big. I think you got a lot going here, and I don't mind the card at all, even though it has a really weird name and a really weird how do I put it? A weird card type. The bounce seems nuts. In a blue-white deck, it might be hard for you to kill your humans, though. Finish reading it? What is it? Don't forget my second dono is specifically to Pedgeman. Well, what second? There wasn't a second dono though. It's now remember it's $5 per card. You spent $5. That's $5. You got your card. You're living in the world of $2. Pedgeman right now, hearing this news. Yeah, we were 5+ words in a name. Yeah, we crossed those off. You had to be here earlier. We're gonna make a rule. You can't like just do that for. You can't be like John of 5+ words. That like defeats the purpose of the damn thing. Okay, next up we've got okay, we have dono to Pedgeman for the bingo. Do we even have a bingo to get? Okay, we're gonna donate one to Pedgeman. Pedgeman, if you've got one, super chat to complete the bingo. Boom. Do you have any specific one, Pedgeman? You have a specific one? Let me know. Pedgeman's always live. Okay, Dyson Sphere. Dyson Sphere. Whatever the hell that is. You only got 1/2 of this thing. I'm not doing Dyson Sphere. Ugh, whatever. This is a 2-sided card. Okay, 5 mana. It's got a lot of words on it, too, for no reason. It can tap for 3. It's an artifact mega structure. What's going on here? I can't remember who's. You've now entered the realm of like Majra of inventing new card types. Okay, so you can upgrade to the next level as a sorcery to add its ability. When this permanent is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return to the battlefield transformed. Oh, okay, so it's an artifact saga is what you're telling me. So we add 3, level 2 for an energy and 2 mana. Oh no, it's a level up card. Whenever you tap this, you get an additional 2 energy. Okay, and then level 3, 3 energy and 3 mana. So basically, it can tap itself and pay its own energy. Or I guess it can't pay its own energy. You have to get energy from somewhere. So something else has to produce energy, and it produces its own mana, keep leveling itself up. Whenever you tap this, add an additional double colorless. 4 energy, 4 mana, double the amount of mana and energy Dyson Sphere produces. What the hell is a Dyson? I am familiar with, I've heard of a Dyson Sphere. I just don't know what it is. And then it's going to transform into the ruined Dyson Sphere. It's an artifact ruin. So it got destroyed. It came back as the ruined Dyson Sphere. Tap out a colorless. Tap exile ruined Dyson Sphere. Create 3 junk tokens. Pay 3 tap. Sacrifice 3 artifacts. Transform ruined Dyson Sphere. What can I say? It's fine. It literally goes nowhere. It's a big mana alert thing. Did we do this already? We did not do this already. It never happened. You need to check donate to Pedgeman. Oh, what happened? Did I get the wrong card here or something? Dyson Sphere. This is Dyson Sphere. I did it. Talathar is like, needs grammar. That's not where you place a colon. Where? I have no idea what you're talking about, so we're not going to count that one. Yeah, how could we have done this before? It's brand new. People are cheating on the bing. They're cheating. Send them to jail. Okay, next up, we got Elixir. The Wandering Aimless. Ooh. This is a 3 mana, it looks like a painting. 3 mana 2/2 shapeshifter wizard. Hexproof changeling. People love your changelings. Whenever an opponent would search their library for a card, you may have them search your library instead. What? Why? Whenever opponents would search their library, so they can search your deck for lands. Each player searches their library for a card, then shuffles and puts that card on top. Then whenever an opponent... Oh, so they search... How does this card work? They're going to search our library for a card, and they're going to put it on top of our deck, because the cards can't switch zones, right? I think they're talking about the Dono bingo spot. We got that one. It's right there. Super chat to complete the bingo. Oh, there's a dono to Pegman slot as well. Oh. True. So then this other one doesn't count. Super chat just to complete bingo. There is no super chat to complete bingo. It's just donate to Pegman. We got rid of one. We added one. Players search in order of priority. Okay, that's fine. But then in the end, what ends up happening? Because whenever an opponent would search their library, they have to search our library and then put that card on top of our deck. They could just stack a bunch of lands. That sounds terrible. But if they search for a specific combo piece, you can stop it. Different sleeves? No, it doesn't matter. You can't take cards and put on top of somebody else's deck. That's against the rules. You go to jail for something like that. So as worded, how does this card work? If it works at all. Elixir, explain yourself. I need answers, damn it. Elixir probably was like, I'm super chatting this card, logs off YouTube, just gets out of here. Let them search, they get your stuff, and then you activate the return all permanents or promotes fail to find. No, it's gonna. So the way I'm like, whenever an opponent would search, so it says tap, each player searches their library for a card, then shuffles and puts that card on top. So instead, whenever an opponent would search their library, they're going to search our library for a card. They'll look for a land. Then we shuffle our libraries, and then they put a land on top of our deck. I'm just saying this ability is a bit jank. Right? It should just say, like, you search your library for a card. Or I just don't know the purpose of making everybody search a library. You choose who searches their own library or your library. Whenever an opponent would search their library for a card, you may have them search. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, I missed that. Thank you so much. Ooh, you're a huge saver here, Talithar. Yeah, okay. So we could all search our decks. I was like, okay, you may search your library. You may search your library. You may search your... Everyone, I am the god of searching. I say what you can search for or what you cannot. Okay, that definitely works then. Just Marcher. Nikachu is part of the Illuminati. Change my mind. Okay, with that donation, normally it's supposed to be $5, but this is basically the end of the show. I'll take one random card. Okay, we're going to close my eyes. Where the show ends, nobody knows. And it's going to end on... Whose is this? It's another Pegman. Oh, this is very close to the Dyson sphere. No, Pegman got a card today. We got to be nice to somebody else. KenCon got a card. Who else? Who didn't get a card? Ooh! The Teach didn't get a card. All right, Teach. You got it. Cordyceps Virus. It is a black-green enchantment. Whenever a creature you control dies, create a token called Cordyceps Planter. It is a land with tap and black or green. You lose 1 life. Okay, that is a grammar mistake. That was grammar for sure. Where's the grammar? Oh my god. On the very final donation, we got a bingo. That means we have to look at another card. Cordyceps is not a virus, but a fungi. Not to confuse with the fun guy. Maybe that's the joke here. Whenever a creature you control dies, create a plant token called Cordyceps, and it becomes a land. Tap at a black or a green, and you lose 1 life. Yeah, but we accidentally nailed this bingo at the end over here. I think this card is fair. Which means now that we have a bingo, we have to donate another card. Okay, we're gonna... okay, here we go. Give to somebody who has not got yet today. Did Singh get a card? Bruce definitely didn't get a card. Phyrexian. When it rains, it pours. Sorcery. Until end of turn, comma. whenever you would draw a card, draw two additional cards. It's a lot of life. 8 life to have that effect. Whenever you would destroy a creature an opponent controls, destroy 2 additional creatures. I think this card's broken. Basically, you get like, okay, for 8 mana and a brainstorm, I get to draw like what, 9 cards out of that deal? That is insane. That's absolutely insane. On top of that, we can actually pay mana for this damn thing. Ended up at the Shell I-65, Luke Combs. Thank you very much for joining me today. All right, if you want to be part of the show, you got to be here 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people are part of the show. And of course, we have to thank the coffee crew, the custom coffee crew, custom card people, for being here today. People like Dimitri, Steve Cooper. We got Not a Fat 123. We got Nola, Quadizzle, Ryan, Pedgeman, Majra, Benjamin Berkeley, Benovsky, Jess, Bell, Forginka. I think I use Steve Cooper. Got Taxi Cab Number, Islarf, Ryan, Talathar. You guys are what makes the show every week. So as usual, my coffee crew keep bringing up them coffees, and we're going to keep bringing up the magic, and I'll see you at the next cup.